now to the grid at the beginning of this race as we see the drivers there just apparently still heading out of pit road, which is unexpected at this stage of the race, but now heading across. Cars taken to the grid now as we wait for those lights to come on the RaceRoom Racing Experience gantry, and we will be ready for 30 minutes of action-packed racing here at the stanchions of Zandvoort. Cars revving those engines, getting ready to go as we find out now who will dominate, and they're away. Race is underway. Drivers pulling off from the grid as Heinemann holds a commanding early lead as we head for the first three corners up the hill. Second, that is the car there of Jan Stange. Great start from him. Dennis Emelianenko in P number 3. De Grave in P4, Lorna in P5, Klaus Schulze P6. Great battling here early on, Fabian.
Absolutely, and at the back we already had two cars being involved in a crash. Harry Diamond, the guy from the Netherlands, was, well, carrying too much motivation, I guess. He lost some spots, but now we are in the race and, well, the field is close together and we can expect some great fights now.
We can, and Jan Stange holding on for number 2 right now, although under threat from Emelianenko behind him. Great start there from the driver Jan Stange, Fabian. He's had a pretty rough season so far, but in a commanding position here. Maybe the track simply suits him.
Yes, it's a completely different track to what we have seen so far in the season. So maybe this one is good for Jan Stange. At least he proves to be pretty fast around here. So he's in P2 now. Of course, he has no chance to follow Tim Heinemann, who is absolutely dominant so far. But he's able to hold the second position, and Demis Emelianenko is not a slow driver, so that's really good job by him.
It is for sure, and looking back in the pack there, focusing right now on number 12, that's Thomas Kinzer. He is trying to make a move on the Russian driver Artem Kurbatov, number 11. Can he find his way into a top 10 point scoring position? Well, if he wants that, he'll have to take on Kurbatov and Dorniden, who is the current final points paying driver. But this midfield so close together right now, Fabian. Drivers all over one another whilst the front spreads out, everyone from P5, 6 backwards, under an umbrella.
Yeah, that seems to be this way in every race. We always have 1 or 2 drivers being pretty competitive and running away at the front, and the midfield is close together all the time. And as I've already seen in the free practice, this track really is great to stay in the pack, so it's not that easy to run away from each other. Maybe you don't need that much aero downforce to run fast around here. Mechanical grip seems to be much more important, and that's what the drivers are benefiting from. So we can be looking forward to some great fights, and well, I will be surprised to see who will be on the podium and on the points at the end of the race.
Definitely something to keep our eyes on as Moritz Lerner gets himself up to P number 3 right now. A great improvement from the driver you have onboard footage from this week. DRS deployed down the main straightaway. Lots of shuffling behind there as Emelianenko under threat from one of the Red Bull cars. That is the machine there of Klaus Schulze, who's trying to make a pass on that Castrol Edge Audi ahead of him. He can't make it stick though. As we head into turn number 1, they will still be in a Red Bull sandwich. But right now, Lorna making a great start at this one. He's had a big improvement himself over the season, and things are exciting driving from this driver. Very patient normally. We've seen him as a very consistent driver. Doesn't make many mistakes. Bit unused to this system we have here at RaceRoom in the DTM Experience Series. These are 30-minute sprint races, and as such, tyre wear and fuel usage are not a factor in these races. They are disabled, which means these drivers go flat out every single lap. For a driver like Lorna, that's been a bit of an adjustment, but he seems to be making that fairly well as we run through the final part of the lap here. But drivers deploying that DRS in multitude of different places, Fabian. We haven't really expected that as such, but they're deploying it from Vodafone 9 into the Audi S's, start finish straight. We've even seen some drivers using it from turn 3 down to turn 6.
Yeah, it's such a fast track, so there are a lot of spots you can try to benefit from your DRS system, and the drivers are very creative at choosing those points. This track only has one real straight, that's the front stretch, and the other straights are, well, more like long turns. So It's pretty difficult to benefit from your DRS, but the drivers try to work on it and try to find the spot that DRS is working on.
Speaking of that, looking down in P number 15 is Sebastian de Grave making a move on Domingo Camano. P number 14, up the inside he goes. Oh, very close there through the bank turn 1. Cannot make it stick there in the Playboy Audi, but just not able to hold that car in there. Very tight inside line there with the banking, but obviously deceptive. You can apply more power, carry more speed with the bank corner than you could in a flat corner, of course, Fabian. So he has to push a lot harder there to try and make that one stick. He will probably learn for next time round, but it cost him a lot of on-track time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something unique about this track as well. We have bank turns, so the oval guys know them, but for some road course racers, this is something very, very different. It's difficult to benefit from it, but well, the drivers will learn it and they will be patient in turn 1 and try to run out of turn 1 as fast as they can, just to make sure they are in a good position to make the pass.
That is definitely true, of course. Turn 1 here at Zandvoort. We're actually on board here with Schultz right now. Klaus Schultz in P number 5. That is the Red Bull Audi machine. What he's up to right now, he is pushing hard behind Emelianenko, trying to get through into P number 4. Not able to achieve it right now though. 4 of a second back from the Castrol's machine. Cannot make it stick. Emelianenko as well, fighting to try and pass Lorna, but unable to. Really on the defensive more than the attack, Fabian.
Yeah, Klaus Schulze is very famous for being on the limit all the time. You see it as soon as he's hunting down his opponent. His car is always not very stable, so he's always pushing hard to the limit and sometimes over the limit. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he will be able to follow Danis Emelianenko all the time without making a mistake. He's driving very, very hard, but Emelianenko is catching Moritz Löhner again, so well, maybe that will hold up Danis Emelianenko and make Klaus Schulze will give Klaus Schulze a chance to make the pass.
Hopefully that will. Out front, a 5.1 second lead for Tim Heinemann. Series champion, proving exactly why he has that crown. He's now 6 seconds ahead of Jan Stange, who is 2 seconds ahead of Moritz Löhner. They're really spread out for that top 3 in the current podium positions. And then Emelianenko, though, catching up towards the back of Löhner now, has gone from the defensive to the attack. As he tries to fend off the 2 Red Bull machines, he wants through, but he cannot find a way yet for that Castrol edge. Looking back through the field there, of course, we've got some great action going on right now down towards the bottom end of your top 10. Just outside the top 10, actually, we have Thomas Kinzer and George Stuarda. They're running for P11, P12, the 2-point positions just outside the points. Running nose to tail now with 4 cars there into turn number 1. I was carrying lots of speed there. Sideways there goes the car of Kinzer. Is it to P number 10 though? He's made a pass on Jager Time, who has dropped back massively in that one.
Yes, and Daniel Rieck also had a spin. He spun out after turn 1, so he lost a lot of time and he's now P14.
That shows how much you can lose here, especially with drivers deploying DRS on a straight as long as this one. They're very critical for these drivers to make sure they use that selectively. Dennis Emelianenko, P number 4 under threat by Klaus Schulze now. 1 of a second. He looks to the outside, cannot make it stick. He'll have a good run from out the corner, but he's fallen back too much, so good defensive driving there from Emelianenko. Holding off the Red Bull Audi behind him. Getting now into the Audi S's, and will he have a second chance? Too far back for the German driver, Schulze, behind him. Lorna still holding on to P number 3 up ahead, and has, I believe, started to wind in. Jan Stange is now under 2 seconds between them, 1.6 seconds at the moment. Gap though between Heinemann and Stange opening up massively, Fabian.
Yes, what Tim Heinemann is doing here is just amazing. He's so fast, so he really shows that he deserves to be our champion. Very impressive performance as always, as we have seen. So he's not making a mistake this time, and he's not under pressure this time as well. So I think it's not going to be a big surprise who will win this race.
Unless something goes wrong for Tim Heinemann, he sets to be in a very good position right now. Back to the field there, Marcus Schoenfelder and Alexander Dorniden fighting. Might have been a bit of a connection issue there. Flashing that one up on our screens, but Dorniden currently riding in P number 7. Alternatively has scored ahead of Schoenfelder. So see if there's any issues for those drivers as they stand. Both seemingly driving fairly well. Yeah, potentially connection issues there for Schoenfelder. He keeps falling back and switching positions, so a bit of a technical issue for those drivers. Of course, Fabian, one of the main field downsides of online racing is that drivers, their internet connection is as fickle as the car's mechanical faults in real life. So these things have to be taken into account.
Absolutely, but well, that's sim racing, so that's the nature of sim racing. You have to have a good internet connection. You have to make sure that nothing interferes your connection. So you just have to prepare your race as you have to do it in the real world. The preparations are different, but you really have to take care of your hardware just to make sure you will be in the game. And we are seeing now a traffic jam behind Artyom Kobatov from P8 on, so he is having 4 cars behind him in a very close range. So yeah, well, he's not able to run away from that group.
Oh, 3 wide! Sorry to break it into you there, but 3 wide with behind Artyom Kobatov. That was the drivers of Thomas Kinzer, Sebastian De Grave and Daniel Rieck. 3 wide through turn number 1. Incredible driving here at Zandvoort. This is exactly what we want to see. Drivers pushing the limit of that bank turn 1 corner. What a display.
Yeah, track is never too tight for 3 wide, I guess.
Absolutely not. Just 3 wide. Incredibly intense racing there as we see cars fighting their way back up the hill there. That's Kinzer, De Grave and Rieck. Not involving Rieck right now, of course. I think he's dropped back from that pack, but intense driving from those guys. Amazing spatial awareness as well to keep themselves separated from each other. No collisions really to speak of. Maybe a little bit of paint swapping, but awesome fighting down here in the bottom end of your the top end of your top 15 is 10, 11 and 12. Those guys are all fighting that final point scoring position there as De Grave goes up the inside of Kinzer into the Audi S's but cannot make it stick. They'll have a run now through turns 12 and 13. Will be in DRS range if he can hold on. Don't need to push too soon there as he pushes him wide. Kinzer off the track. Up the inside goes De Grave. Brilliant pass there through turn number 13. Not a place we normally see passes, but he was behind him when he got the DRS loop. He has that now to defend and pull away on a straight, Fabian. Amazingly tactical driving.
Yeah, and as you've seen, patience pays off. So he was behind Kinzer and he just waited for the mistake by Kinzer, and the mistake happened and he was there to benefit from it. So he's now in P11 hunting down Jager time for P10 at the last point of this race.
Here's he's 0.3 of a second back from Jager time. Will he be able to make a move on the French driver who has garnered quite a support in recent weeks? Big fan base there for the Frenchman. Now coming under threat from Sebastian De Grave. Well, a countryman of his, a fellow Frenchman. Can he have something here for him as he's within 0.1 of a second? Right all over the rear wing there of Jager time. Can he find a way past? He looks to the inside, will not be able to make it just yet. Making his intentions very clear, he shows he wants to pass. And his countrymen hold him off much longer. There's a good exit there from Vodafone heading down towards the Audi S's. Will he look to the inside as we approach the first corner of the Audi S's? No, he will not. He sits in line. Gonna hope for a simple DRS pass in the front straightaway as he just sticks to the rear spoiler there. Like Lewis, time he goes off the track. Jager teammate loses the back end of that car, coming out of the final corner of the Audi S's, and he spins out. We'll hopefully get a replay of that up on your screen. Jager teammate, we haven't got a replay, I apologise. He spun a second time into the gravel trap on the outside of turn number 12. Big mistakes from the Frenchman there, Fabian. And it's cost him, it seems.
Yeah, he might have a damaged car right now after this very intensive hit. But Sebastian De Grave seems to be making people nervous when he's in the mirror, so he forced Jager time into a mistake, and he also forced Thomas Kinzer into a mistake before. So his next victim might be George Störwader.
It will be. He has to close 2 seconds though to get towards Störwader up in P number 9, but well, great driving there from De Grave. He used that intimidator button in his car very, very well. He didn't make contact with the other cars. He simply sat behind them, the point where they made a mistake on their own. exactly how you have to do it. Up towards the front, Denis Emelianenko's up to P number 3. He's past Klaus Schulze, but he is not out of the race yet. 0.7 of a second between those two drivers, with Lerner back. In fact, no, Schulze is past Lerner as well, so we've had a mistake from Lerner we haven't caught on camera. He's down to P number 5. Schulze and Emelianenko up to 3 and 4. Jordan actually chasing in P number 6. He's 5 seconds back though, so somewhat out of this battle. Still well within the fight though for the two Red Bull Audis, and they get up to the Castrol Edge machine in number 3. We'll have to find out in the final half of this race, Fabian.
Yeah, we just made it to the midpoint of the race, so Tim Heinemann already had 11 seconds. Very amazing performance. And, well, yeah, some close fights are still going on. George Dörwader is hunting down Artyom Kurbatov, and Sebastian de Graef already is down to 1 second gap to George Dörwader, so the next victim is up for him.
He's indeed closing that gap, and that's going to be a great improvement for him. And if he can try and find a way past P number 9, he can go on the attack of Artyom Kurbatov, the Russian driver, in P number 8, who's actually almost ahead of Dörwader. Certainly scope for some good position gain for De Graef. Not sure he can close in the 7 seconds up to Marcus Schoenfelder in P7, but he's been fast so far. If he can get it done quickly, who knows what he can achieve, Fabian.
Yes, I expect to be P8 the maximum for Sebastian de Graef in this race, but who knows, of course. We have seen a lot of mistakes by the other drivers so far. We have seen very close battles. The track is very tight, very narrow, so contact can occur every once and again.
Oh, actually, we're pushing him there. He's all over the back of De Graef. In fact, he ran into him entering the Audi S's. And I believe, yep, De Graef right at the back there of the German driver in P number 9. Ran into him coming into the Audi S's. We have another crash off behind them. Daniel Rieck has gone off the track. Hard impact for him. And that was running into the Audi, exiting the Audi S. It's the same place you saw the teammate go off the track. So a tricky corner for these guys, certainly causing real problems. But we're still focusing on P number 10 right now as Sebastian de Graef closing in on Georges Dörwader and Artyom Kurbatov up ahead of him. Aggressive, fast driving here from this Frenchman. What a performance!
Yes, aggressive but very clean, so he's not the one making the mistakes. He's hunting down.
Another crash for Daniel Rieck on the track. That's down to P15 now. And I believe he's off track currently. He's in the pits along with Domingo Camano. The teammate has rejoined. He's back in P13. Harry Darman down in P14. Actually about to make a pass, we think, on Jager teammate. So we'll have a quick look at P14 for you. That's Harry Darman in the other Playboy Audi. Chasing down Jager teammate ahead of him. Can he do anything against the Frenchman? We'll have to see. Not sure he can do anything right now, but we're getting very, very close.
Yeah, that's so typical for the DTM Virtual Championship. We have so many close battles all over the track. It's really difficult to decide where you want to set your focus. Well, just amazing racing as we have seen it every week. And we have a spin by De Graef.
It's De Graef. He spun going through turn number 12 and 13 whilst he was right under the rear spoiler there of the car of Georges Dörwader and Artyom Kurbatov. Lost a lot of time, but he will hopefully be trying to recover that back. He's 1.6 seconds down. He's had it before. We can only say he'll recover that one again. The car seems undamaged. Have a quick look at his car. The car is perfectly fine. He should be able to go on again. But nearly 2 seconds lost. That's a big hit for him.
It is, but he was able to close such a gap before, and well, we can be looking forward to his hunt back for the points, because at the moment he's on P11, so he's out of the points. But he was way too aggressive in that situation, so he was very close to his opponent, probably did not have all the aero downforce he was looking for, hit the gas, and well, that turned him around. So now he has to run again for the points.
Well, hopefully this will teach Sebastian de Graef a little patience perhaps, and maybe not quite so heavy on that right front as he drifts there around Vodafone corner. Incredibly hard pushing driver, but maybe this is exactly what he needed, a slight spin there. Maybe not to go quite as hard, leave a little something in the bank so he can actually make these positions up. Because if he gets back to Duada and Kurbatov, well, P8 is, as you said, mostly what he's going to get. It's 6.6 seconds, number 7, an unrealistic goal in the minutes that remain of this race. But up front, just to update you on the position, Tim Heinemann, 12 seconds ahead of Jan Stange in second, who is now coming under threat by Denis Emelianenko. P number 3, he's 0.7 of a second back. We'll focus on him for a moment. Emelianenko chasing down Jan Stange. Klaus Schulze behind him as well. He's up to P number 4. Lerner 2 seconds back. He's really floundered. He was third. Now down to P number 5. Big separation though in your top half of your field in the points field. 2 seconds back from 4th to 5th. From 5th to 6th, it's 9 seconds. And 3 seconds between 6, 7, and 6 seconds between 7 and 8. So a very spread out field here at Zandvoort, which is what we expected really, Fabian, with the nature of this tight listed track.
Yes, we see that we have some groups of drivers. So, well, you see some difference in speed between all the drivers. Of course, Tim Heinemann being, well, absolutely somewhere else, so he's not really taking part in the championship. I guess he's driving in some other league. Jan Stange with a great performance so far, but he's in group with Denis Emelianenko and Klaus Schulze and Moritz Wiener, in my opinion. And after that you see big gaps, that's true. And then we have the battle for P8, which is continuing to go on, and, well,
sorry to interrupt you actually, Fabian. We've lost another position for Sebastian de Grave, down to P number 11. 2 seconds behind Thomas Kinzer. He'd made another mistake on the racetrack. Half spin in the Audi S's. That has dropped him out of the points. The French driver pushing just too hard, and it has cost him point scoring position. That car is down to P number 11, and it's not looking too healthy for him. He'll have to try and make up whatever he can, but up ahead of him, Thomas Kinzer closing in now on the back of Georges Duada. He's 0.4 seconds back from the German himself. He's only half a second away from Ertan Kurbatov. We'll see if they can do anything, and if the Russian driver can hold on to P number 8. But it's getting very tight here in the final 7 minutes.
Well, so far the opponents of Artyom Kurbatov were holding their sets up. So Duada was not able to try to pass Kurbatov so far because he had always to watch the mirror. At the moment it's Thomas Kinzer very, very close to him, trying to make the pass, and Sebastian de Grave, okay, he is making mistakes, but he's still able to close the gap, and he will be there later in the race. So he's closing the gap pretty fast, and we still have over 7 minutes to go.
Absolutely, and we're looking at Schultz at the moment. That is Klaus Schultz in P number 4, 3 tenths of a second behind Emelianenko. As we close in now, that's Emelianenko in P number 3. Up ahead of him, that is Jan Stange, the German driver, under threat for P number 2. We have 3 drivers under a blanket. P2, 3 and 4. One of those guys will be going home off podium. 2 of them will be on it, but which 2 will that be? Right now, Stange has been doing a brilliant job with a great finish, probably his best performance all season long. Emelianenko's had some great results, and he's pushing hard now, but with under pressure from Klaus Schulze, can he hold him off?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on Jan Stange. If you have your first great race of the season, the best yet so far, you want to keep the position. And the longer the race goes, the more pressure is on your shoulders, and so far Jan Stange was able to withstand that pressure. But at the moment he has 2 cars filling his mirrors, and that might make him a little bit nervous. But let's see, he just has 6 minutes left. That can be a very long time if you're running P2 and you have 2 very aggressive guys behind you. But on the other hand, he already made it 24 minutes, so he can be very confident in his skills today.
Well, we have seen a lot of incidents coming out of the Audi S. It's one of the slowest corners on the track after turn number 3, of course, which is the corner heading up that hill towards the long, twisty run down towards the sandy turn 6. Turn number 3, though, it's helped by the fact it's uphill. It's this uphill gradient there, Fabian. So not getting quite as loose out of it, whereas the Audi S, turn number 10 and 11, at turn number 11, very flat, very easy to get the car loose, which means that, of course, drivers making a lot of mistakes, putting that power down too soon. and it is really hurting them. So we could see a forced error here with these drivers so close together, but which one will blink first? Right now, Stanger is pulling away somewhat from Emelianenko, and should say putting the pressure on Emelianenko. Can he find a way past? Lerner has fallen back massively in P number 4. He's 5 even, I apologise. He's P number 5. He's sitting back by 3 seconds in this battle we have going on inside your podium. Well, battling that's allowed Tim Heinemann to pull his lead out to 15 seconds. It's an incredible achievement by Tim Heinemann, your series champion, proving exactly why he is in fact that champion. Further back, Sebastian de Grave seems to have given up. He's dropped back to 3 seconds. Oh, we have a wreck. And that should say being passed now by Lerner. Wow, that has brought Lerner right back into this fight there, as we had an incident in the Audi S. I think we'll hopefully have a replay of that, so we were focusing on that at that time. If we do, we'll have that up on your screen for you, if we can. But it looks like incident between Emelianenko and should say, which, well, as we said, an error in the Audi S. We called it, and it happened. Perhaps curse the commentators, but it did happen. And but Lerner's up to P number 4, and he's within shouting distance now of Emelianenko in P3. Can he do something to get hold of that spot and steal a podium finish? Emelianenko's lost his shot at second, and Jan Stangier breathing easy as he has a 3-second gap back to third, Fabian.
Yes, we've seen how important patience is. Klaus Schulze lost it, ran into Denis Emelianenko. So now Klaus Schulze is in P5, Moritz Lerner is back in the game, so he's in contention for a podium finish today. So everything changed within one turn. And that's what the DTM Virtual Championship is all about, so you can never be sure to keep your position. Jan Stange was, had to suffer from such a big pressure all the race, and now he's in a very relaxed position. So everything can change here pretty fast, just as fast as those cars are running.
Absolutely, and looking down towards P number 8, P number 9, that is Ed Kurbitov and Georges Devada. The Russian and Belgian drivers having their own little Cold War, which has all of a sudden gotten very hot. As Devada is now within 0.3 of Kurbitov. Has he got anything in his final 3 minutes? Use against that Russian driver, find his way up into P number 8 and steal some extra points.
Yeah, well, Kurbitov proved to be pretty good at withstanding the pressure from behind. Devada is there for a long time already, so Devada did not find the place that Kurbitov is slow enough to try the pass, and he has pressure from behind because Thomas Kinzer is right behind him, and he can never really take the risk and try to make the attack, because he always have to have an eye in the mirror and make sure that Thomas Kinzer will not try to make the pass in that situation as well.
Hopefully not, indeed. And well, just have a quick review of your manufacturer top performers so far in the race. Of course, the top Audi is that Audi Sport machine of Tim Heinemann, currently running in P number 1, 17 seconds clear of the field. A masterclass from the German up there in his Audi machine. Highest place Mercedes goes to P number 2, Jan Stange in his AMG sponsored machine. A great performance from him, a faultless, flawless fight, and now relieved of pressure with the contact between Emelianenko and should say. So a great one for him. The highest place BMW is Markus Schoenfelder. He's down in number 6 in his BMW M Performance Parts machine. Doing a great job up there for him, but nearly 12 seconds back from P number 5. Klaus should say, of course, involved in that earlier incident. All the predominant cars in your top 5 are Audis, Fabian. P number 1, 3, 4, and 5. So dominant manufacturer here. Oh, so we have a big pass there, looking back towards Joada. And who makes an aggressive pass in this field? Could be Sebastian de Grave. He's back up into P number 10. We'll focus on this because it's going to get exciting here as we go into 1 minute remaining. That Playboy Bunny leaping ahead of Thomas Kinzer, diving his way around the outside into the Audi S with a masterful pass.
And still enough time to make an attempt on George Devada and Artyom Kurbitov, so no one is safe up to P8.
They are not, sure. As de Grave making a big leap now. He's 0.5 a second back from Devada, and he's 0.4 from Kurbitov. These guys are all over each other. Will we see something really aggressive from de Grave? Will he make a mistake? Up front, though, times not really changing. Heinemann from Stange, from Emelianenko, from Lerner, they're all separated by over 2 seconds. They're being boring. Should say they're catching Lerner. That's not going to be too exciting. Those two are very, very patient, but this is exciting. The missile of the race so far, Sebastian De Grave. You think they were battling for the win here, Fabio? This is P number 10, 9 and 8. P number 11. They're at it like the race win matters.
Yeah, we still have a lap, so Tim Heinemann just passed the start-finish line 1 second before the time expired, so we still have a lot of action going on for the battle for P8 right now.
We do, and it's very intense racing here. Up the bumper there of Devada for the Grave. And he find a way past as we come into the last lap here. This will be the final one now. Big race on for P number 4. We'll focus on that in a second as we have a real chance of something happening here. P number 4. Lerner holding on to P4. Schulze in P number 5. This is the last lap here of the race. De Grave still further back. Can he make a pass there on Devada? He'll pull out, but he can't get it done in time. This could well be your finishing position there, as this is, I believe, the last lap. Always confused about this one. We are going on to the final lap here. Big fight there for P number 4, Lerner and Schulze. 1/10 of a second back. And Schulze make a pass on the other Team Team Audi Red Bull car. Look at the outside as we head into Vodafone. Can he get something done here? We'll soon see. No, he cannot. He's up the inside. He is. But he'll be on the outside for the Audi S's up ahead. Can he hold on? And Moritz Lerner, your onboard driver today, hold this position as he head through the Audi S. He's got a bit of a gap there. Will it be enough? Will Schulze make that late move? Will he be able to do something under DRS here on the final lap? Good clean entry there for Lerner into the final corners. Turn 12 and 13. He holds on to it for now. DRS will be open on the back of Schulze's machine as we run to the line. Heinemann wins the race, of course. Stange in second. Emelianenko third, and it's to the line as they make contact coming to the start-finish line there, or just after it, for Moritz Lerner and Klaus Schulze. What an incredible battle. Just going to have a quick look back towards Sebastian De Grave in P number 10. Are they still fighting? Turn number 13, the final corner. Out they come, and he is up into... No, he's still number P number 10. He didn't make it happen. Great defensive driving there from Georges Devada and Ertem Kurbatov, holding off the charging Frenchman. What a race, Fabian. Just absolutely incredible driving. Run to the standings whilst they're up on your screens. Tim Heinemann, your series champion, race winner once again here at Circuit Park Zandvoort. Dan Stange, P number 2, Dennis Emelianenko in third. Moritz Lerner, P number 4, with a spirited last lap battle with the other Red Bull machine of Klaus Schulze in P number 5. Unfelder, P6, Dorniden, P7, Kurbatov, Devada, and De Grave. Round out your top 10. Thomas Kinzer, Johan Jocelyn, Harry Dahmen, and Jager Thieme, your final finishing drivers, with Daniel Rieck and Kamano retiring. Fabian, last thoughts?
Was a great race as always. Very intensive fights. We have seen several groups charging each other for the whole race. It was a pleasure to watch, and well, I see that we already got Moritz Lerner here, so he will, well, tell us from the driver's perspective how he experienced the last turns, because they were pretty hard for him.
They were indeed. Well, we're joined by Moritz Lerner. He's probably wringing the sweat out of his forehead right now after what looked to be an incredibly intense race for him. Moritz, that looked like amazing.
Yeah, it was a very exciting race. I had a not so good start, but came through in the last few corners. Emelianenko made a mistake and cut the track and got a penalty, so I could overtake him and could go to place 3. And then we had a quite good battle, but after that he wanted to overtake in turn 1 and made, in my opinion, a very dirty move. You can't overtake there by leaving the track. And yeah, then I chased up from behind Schulze, and later the race, Emelianenko and Schulze made contact and go off the track, so I could overtake Schulze. And then we had a great battle till the end.
Well, an awesome race for you and a good finishing position, of course. You ended up in the top 5 in P number 4. Looking forward to next week's race at the Red Bull Ring in Austria.
Yes, of course, that place 4 is my best result in this championship, and I'm very happy with it, but it could be place 3, I think. And I'm looking forward for Red Bull Ring. It's a nice track and could be fun.
Well, congratulations on P number 4 today, Maurice Lerner. You had an incredibly good run and hoping for more like this in the rest of the season so far. A few things before we go, of course, tune in on Friday at 8 p.m. Central European Time for a development stream where they'll be joined by the French-Canadian driver Bruno Spengler from the DTM series with more updates to come on the DTM experience package here at RaceRoom. Of course, you can join us again, as usual, with coverage of practice, qualifying, and the race next week on Monday, starting from 7 p.m. Central European Time. That'll be at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. I've been Rachel Wyford. I've been joined by Fabian Clote, and we've had Laura Lawson in the booth. Thank you, and good night.